informative than everything reported by the BBC since October 7.
Than Lebanon. I mean, everything, the world did not begin on October the 7th. 1978, Israel invades southern Lebanon. 1982, Israel invades southern Lebanon. Sabra and Shatila. 2006, Second Lebanon War, murder 100 people.
But you always make it sound like they're just doing this for the sake of it. They're not.
What are they doing it for?
Well, they've been provoked by...
That's what didn't exist in 1978, Piers.
OK, I'm talking about the specifics of going on now. The provocation since October the 7th, first response to October the 7th was to unleash on Israel
That's not true.
on October the 8th.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is what happened.
Where did they fire the first?
They fired on the 8th.
Where?
Well, you tell me.
No, you just said they fired at Israel. Where?
He's gonna say they fired their first one that isn't even Israeli territory to begin with, which is correct.
They fired in the direction of Israel.
Where did they hit? They fired at the
you
Sheba
know the
Farms.
answer, tell me.
I do. They fired at the Sheba Farms, which, as I said earlier, is an area of Syria. Well, the Lebanese claim it's Lebanon. Syria claims it's Lebanon. Israel says no and is occupying the Sheba Farms. They fired at Israeli military installations in the Sheba Farms. Now, have they got fired in Israel?
So
since?
they were firing at Israel. They were firing
Yes.
at an area that Israel says is theirs.
Oh, okay. Well, now southern Lebanon is going to be an area that Israel says is theirs. And then when they fire in the southern Lebanon, that will give more cause to Israel to go and invade and encroach further and further into Lebanese territory. It almost feels like this is 1948 all over again. It's 1948. It's 1967. It's the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. This is how the justification occurs. This is how there is a permission structure designed around Israel doing this over and over again. How the f do they do this every single time? Oh, sorry. Well, we declared this territory to be ours. You're firing at it. Now we're going to fire back at you. Then you're going to be like, okay, now we're going to fire in the northern Israeli territory. All right, tit for tat, baby. 80% of them, meanwhile, are actually from the Israeli side going into Lebanon, mind you.
No, Israel doesn't say that. Israel says it's Syria's. Because remember, Piers, Israel is occupying Syria and the West Bank and Gaza and Lebanon, would argue, parts of Lebanon. This is the problem, right? The core of the problem is Israel's territorial expansionism.
It's a mess.
Attacks, not a mess. It's Israel occupying multiple Arab lands, which leads to quote-unquote resistance or quote-unquote, whichever word. I don't care what word you want to use right now. But that is the core, right? You had John Mearsheimer on the show this week, made the same point. Deal with the occupation, then you deal with the violence. And look, has fired into Israel at civilian. Yes, I don't agree with that. But the reality is 82% of the exchange of fire between Lebanon and Israel since October the 7th has been done by Israel.
Nailed it. He hit all the talking points. He hit all the points. To Americanize it, imagine if Russia attacked Canada, so America fired back at Russia with Canada. That's basically the same logic they used. Yes. What? Xenophobia? What are you responding to? 39 months of Islamophobic subscribers. Tory gonna Tory. Lol, now you're just xenophobic. You could have worded a bit differently, you bigot. Israel was a mistake. Piers Morgan is so stupid. Tory gonna Tory. Reactionary British cuck. You're mad at that? Are you crazy? British chatter? British people are so funny, bro. Come on, be a little bit more embarrassed. It's like the same principle behind like I spend every goddamn day up and down everything that America does, okay? The moment that we turn the crosshairs to like America 1, America 1.0, not America 2.0, which is current America. And British people are like, oh, hey, mate, how dare you? You know, it's 1 a.m. out here, all right? And I'm watching. Watch your mouth, all right? You what? Stop with this British. How dare you? It was nice when you were making fun of the Americans, but how dare you make fun of the Brits at the top of the hour nonetheless? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you want to do is subscribe. How dare you, lad? Brexit is Brexit. Brexit is Brexit. It's funnier when you look at their... That's awesome. How the f do I click on their profile picture? Oh, here it is. That's right. Mate. Or no, mate. Stop the... Stop. Or no. Or mate. The sun never says son in the empire. I can't even tell if this is a British chatter or an Australian one. What is this? More of Mehdi cooking Piers on that episode?
Rhetoric. I wish I didn't have to compare Donald Trump to him. But when he quotes the lines from Mein Kampf, as a journalist...
Come on, Mehdi.
As a journalist, should I not point out that?
You shouldn't compare him to because he's not Hitler.
Okay, so what should I do? So I'm a...
Yeah, no one... You can't compare anybody to... You shouldn't even learn about Adolf, actually. We shouldn't even be teaching Adolf because he's a once-in-a-lifetime guy, okay? Like, there's no reason to learn about Adolf Hitler. Like, no lessons to be learned from any of those things, you know? Like, this is like the fundamental reason why we teach this in schools, which, by the way, I don't think we teach this in schools well enough, seemingly. Like, what do you mean, dude? Why? But like, there is no, oh, no one, never again means it will never happen again, of course. It's certainly not happening now. They talk about him like he's the GOAT.
I'm a journalist. Donald Trump says immigrants are poisoning our blood. I go look in history who's the only person who said that. Should I not tell my viewers on Piers Morgan Uncensored? Should I go, can't tell them that?
No, you can you can say he shouldn't use language like that.
Can I say he's quoting Adolf Hitler?
You can't say he's the new Hitler.
I mean, I don't know if he's the new. There's definitely a lot of Hilarian politicians out there. There's a long list, dude.
I called him the new.
Right.
I've never called him the new.
So you
Hitler.
accept the people who
But
say
I'm allowed.
that.
But you say I'm allowed to say he's quoting Hitler.
You can, if he uses a direct sentence, which you can chart back to.
It's almost directly the same.
That's
yes.
absolutely fair enough. But the idea that there is any comparison between Trump
No,
and
of
Hitler
course not. We know that.
is appalling. Do you
But
agree it's appalling?
No, but I want to. Hitler,
agree it's appalling.
What is appalling?
To compare him to
compare him to Hitler in what sense, though?
calling him the new.
Yeah. So no, don't call him the new.
Is that appalling?
Oh my God, I'm not playing the silly game.
Give me a word.
I don't want you put words
Give
about.
me a condemnatory word.
I think it's not accurate to say he's the new because it's
Not
12 million
accurate.
people. Yeah, it's not true.
Not offensive.
But can I, if you let me finish the sentence?
No, it's not. It's not offensive. I think it's ridiculous to claim that like there's some unique specimen of evil, dude. What the entire purpose of learning about Adolf and Germany is so that we understand all the material conditions that primed a person to be able to do that, and also how the entire world could basically turn a fucking blind eye, specifically German society could turn a blind eye. Except if you kind of read into that a little bit too much, you start noticing the parallels between Israeli society and Germany. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a weird thing to think about. Yeah, we shouldn't do that, actually. Don't learn about it. I take it back. Don't learn about any of that, okay? Who cares? It just happened in the past. The past is the past. Come on. like, come on, dude. Oh. Like, this is kind of like a liberal version of being like, well, did he say he was a, you know what I mean? You know how like we'll always engage in like Holocaust revisionism or whatever, and then be like, well, actually, how dare you call this obvious neo? After all, did he say he was a, and you can play that song and dance all the way to like everyone but virtually to be like, well, they didn't actively petition it or whatever, right? And it's all a lie. It's like, that's why we say, if you're sitting at a table with one and there's 10 other people, then that means there's 11 at the table. All right? Straight up. And that's instructive in understanding how fascism thrives and fascist actions thrive in modern society as well. And unfortunately, that comparison might hurt your feelings because it's literally, virtually what is going on in identical terms in Israeli society. Israeli society is held together by a resilient and quite unfortunate bloodlust for permanent military occupation everywhere they can get it. Okay? And also supremacist attitudes, ultranationalist supremacist attitudes for the in-group being Jewish people. That's it. Like, they can masquerade around and say it's for self-determination, it's for sovereignty, it's for we have to create a Jewish nation state. Israel has a right to defend itself over and over again. But you can't keep saying that. It's not like the Germans didn't say that. You know what I mean? They said that too. They said the exact same, actually, identically. It's just the in-group out-group was different.
I speak to a lot of fascism scholars, people like Ruth Ben-Ghiat, Jason Stanley. A lot of people say that there is an analogy between what Trump is doing in America now and what happened in places like Germany in the 20s and 30s.
No,
right there. But I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion that you don't think it is.
Well, give me an example.
I'm not having that argument around. I'm trying to make a separate point, which is if fascism scholars are saying we look at history and we make comparisons, they are scholars of fascism and they're saying, hey, hold on, the rhetoric is very similar. The way they're operating is very similar. That is it. That, first of all.
By the way, he's talking about Trump here, not even Israel, which a comparison within Israel is also apt. The comparison for America is also apt as well, 100%. Our appetite for destruction is also endless, even though, unlike Germany, where Whereas like the Israel comparison is better for Germany because of the personalized aspect of it almost, because it's like violence that it's dishing out to its own subordinates, basically, its own people that it's held captive for generations. Whereas with America, we have like streamlined the process. It's a machine of death and destruction, but it's far away. So it's easier to not really think about it, which is why you always have in American society people of two minds, people that are like, hell yeah, America being the world police is great, but also simultaneously like, I don't know if we should be spending so much money on war, right? Like, that's not necessarily the same in a country that is hyper militant like Israel, especially when like the violence that they're dishing out is directly in their doorstep. You know what I mean? America got done with its ethnic cleansing campaign a long time ago with its population, even in terms of its like chattel slavery regime, right? So it's easier for us to whitewash the wrongs of the past while still maintaining certain aspects of that white supremacist attitude, whereas Israel is currently engaging in it. So that necessitates more propaganda, and that creates like a deeply personal connection to dishing out that violence. So you can just like, I don't know, hold a rave next to a concentration camp. You know what I mean? That's like not a thing you can do in other circumstances. Like you can only do that if you're turning a complete blind eye to all this violence. By the way, I don't care. It's still xenophobic, bigoted. Britain has done more to pull some licenses from Israel than America has. And I'm Australian, by the way. Oh my God. Dude, if you think that I'm not sufficiently on America every goddamn day, I don't know if you're hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth at all. Okay? And England can take some of that smoke too. God damn, Australians. Some of you are the coolest people I've ever met in my life. And some of you are such peasant-brained cucks. It is mind-boggling. No wonder you are still under the Commonwealth. Holy dude. Have fun changing your coins or whatever that's going on. Jesus Christ. It's actually shocking. You can't make fun of my country, not on my watch. Dog, it's even worse. He's defending England as an Australian. Like, did you learn nothing, dude? Why did your ancestors get murked to Turkish machine gun fire in Gallipoli? Huh? Why? Because the penal colony was sent there. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You should have so much more smoke for England than even me, dummy. It's so weird. Mate! It's funny to have this level of, like, allegiance and defending England's awful reputation as an Australian guy. That's really funny.
For free speech, they should be.
You can't hate on France. I'm Algerian, by the way.
You said Trump. You used to be the free speech champion.
I am.
And then you sit there regulating everyone's speech.
I'm not
Say it's appalling.
I'm not regulating. No, I'm asking
you. literally just told me.
Call
it appalling.
That's not regulating what you're saying.
You're
it's
telling
asking you, can you bring it in yourself to condemn people who say he's the new...
I don't know who those people are. J.D. Vance called him the new, and he's his running mate. So take it up with J.D. Vance.
Condemn him as well.
Call him on your show.
But you condemn anyone on the left who uses it too, right?
Uses what, though?
Who says he's the new... Specific.
Those specific words, the new... Yes.
Okay.
Is he speaking...
Oh, God. Dude. Mehdi, don't play this game, dude. It's so annoying. It's such an unproductive game to play with this baboon in his suit.
Like, yes, he is. Okay. And that should be condemned. Hold on, do you condemn him speaking like that?
Yes.
Does that not outrage you?
Of course.
He's like your pal. Why don't you tell him to stop it?
Of course.
Have you ever told him to stop quoting Hitler?
Yes, probably. I can't remember the last interview I did was before or after, but if I do again, I will. Yes, of course.
Good. And hosting a Holocaust dinner at Mar-a-Lago.
But yes, Nick Fuentes, absolutely.
Have you told him to stop doing that?
I said it on Twitter to him. Don't let white supremacists anywhere near you. Why are you doing that?
Nah, that's not condemnation.
Don't let white supremacists anywhere near you. Why are you doing that? While also simultaneously quoting Adolf. Sir, Mr. President, sir, why are you doing that? It quite seems like you like it. It seems to me like you're giving people the wrong impression. Or maybe the right impression, I don't know.
That's a question.
I think it's condemn it. It's disgusting.
It's appalling.
It's appalling.
Good.
There you are.
Agreement.
You're trying to regulate my speech.
I love when we agree.
Anyway, good stuff. It's unseemly, my good sir. How dare you? Unseemly, I say. Where's Paulum? He's late. He's going to be late today. Trump versus Harris middle